Okay, what is the state of harmony in the U.S.? I keep saying this. The world is not as bad as we think it is. We're just constantly fed negative stories. But if you were constantly fed positive stories, then we wouldn't think the world's going to hell in a handbasket. And P.S., it's not. I worked at a grocery store years ago. And there was this man, every single time he got in my line, every single time, he paid for his stuff, which was usually about $100. And he paid for the person's stuff behind him, no matter how much it was. People like him exist everywhere. Everywhere. We are kind to one another. Look in my comments. Just read the comments. Y'all say the nicest things in the world to me. Never met me a day in your life. And I appreciate the absolute hell out of it. Because YouTube can be a place where the nastiest people in the world come to go because they got the keyboard courage. I can say whatever I want to you, and you can't do anything to me. But instead, I attracted, 2,500 of the nicest people on earth. So I know we're out there. You hear the story, oh, such and such shot, such and such robbed, such and such. Okay. Yeah, awful exists. We're not debating that. What I'm saying is, that is, let's say, 4,000 people did something awful. This is a country of 300 million. Somebody did something great. I shared this story the last time of that little girl. I can't count and talk at the same time. Who collected donations for children in foster care. Nobody heard about that story on the news. Now, there's a local celebrity of sorts. I think his name is Chip or Chuck or something. I don't know. He does a thing called Stuff the Bus at Christmas. You may have heard of it. He sits on top of an old school bus or some old bus. I don't know. I've never seen it. In a parking lot. So you can go by and see him. He sits up there and stays up there until the bus is full of toys and donations for kids. And so he's got the businesses, surrounding businesses all, pitching in, and you can donate a toy to stuff the bus. And I think he's got several buses that he has to fill before he can come down. The only thing he comes down for is to go to the bathroom. He sleeps up there. He eats up there. Until those buses are full, he does not come down. And it's a beautiful tradition. He's been on the news and the whole bit. And he does it every year. Doesn't have to, but he does. The state of harmony in the U.S. Ace of Pentacles. That's a money offer. A new venture of some sorts. The King of Swords, Man of Truth, the Page of Swords, that's the negative news there, the Hardship, there's the Five of Pentacles being shunned, there is the Magician casting illusions. Okay, oh crap, oh whatever, my cards fell out of order. There is the Five of Swords, that is deceit and defeat, a win at all costs. There is the Eight of Cups, that's walking away. The Six of Swords, from stormy seas to calmer waters. There is the Ten of Wands, that is burden. There is the Seven of Wands, that is higher ground and defense. What is the state of harmony in America? In the U.S. That's all I was looking at. I didn't say the world. I said the U.S. Okay. The state of harmony in the U.S. Well, right now, this is a dividing force. The money and the man and the bad news. That's Donald Trump. There's money. So he is directly affecting the harmony in the U.S. I know a man told me yesterday that he said, I'm just trying to be fair. This is a white guy. He said, the president can't do anything without being criticized. I don't think it's fair. I think, it makes America look like a bunch of assholes. And then I said, yeah. I said, but we're a lot kinder to each other than the media would have us believe. He said, yeah, and then went on about his way. He didn't reiterate my point or reinforce it or nothing. He just said, yeah, and then walked off. He wanted, because I work there, so I can't really be political. But he wanted to share his outlook on, I guess, the way America looks to the rest of the world because we're dogging out our own president. Now, one thing, I've never been overseas in my life. I would like to go overseas somewhere. And I said the one thing I will never, and you never say never, but I will never do this, is talk bad about my country on foreign soil. I will never do that. I don't care if it's just Mexico and Canada. It's still a different country. I will never talk bad about this country in somebody else's country. So he says it makes us look bad to the rest of the world that we dog out our president. That's that. The money, the greed, all that kind of stuff. The money offer, the Gemini man, and the bad news. The hardship. The lies and illusion. This would be the media. Now, I want you to keep a focus. Not on what I'm saying, but what is here. I'll run back through it. There's Donald Trump. And what I said about perception to the rest of the world. There's Donald Trump. That money offer. Greasing the palms. The Gemini man. The bad news. The hardship. The illusions. The lies in the media. The winning at all costs. The deceit and betrayal. What does all that sound like? Sounds like the state of harmony in the U.S. is awful. No. It sounds like perception. If all you see when you think of harmony in the U.S. is Donald Trump, the media, hardship, and if that's all you see, then that is perception. That is not what is. That is what you see. Perception is reality for some, but reality is actual reality. We can walk down the street, and mind you, this man who paid for everybody's groceries in line, he's a white guy. We're in the middle of this grocery store. Its primary customers are black in Mississippi. He didn't care what color you were. He paid for white people's groceries, black people. Whoever was behind him got their stuff paid for. Perception. My perception of him was he was an awesome person. That was my perception of him. But because that's all I ever saw. He could go home and, strangle his dogs or something. I don't know. But he could do that. He could very well be an awful person at home. But in that store, he was an awesome person. And so what that tells me is if he is that awesome in public, then he is more than likely that awesome at home. His wife was with him. She seems pleasant, very happy. She didn't seem scared or fidgety or nothing, so he ain't beating her up. So you would think, okay, once he leaves here, he's still a great person, because that's all I see. All you see as far as the harmony of U.S. is Trump and lies and media. Then you think that's all there is. That's just all you see. I remember when I was a child watching television, I would see images of Africa, and all I ever saw was this really dark man with a stick walking through a field and animals in the background. I thought that was Africa. People lived in huts and in the middle of fields, and I didn't see farms and all that. All I seen was this really dark dude in a stick staring at the camera like, why are you looking at me? Everything we have here, they have there. They got 5-star hotels and restaurants and Mercedes-Benz and fine shopping and dining and all. They have all that there. Coffee shops and Wi-Fi. But that's not what I saw. All I saw was the man and the lions and the stick. Grew up, that's what I thought Africa was. And then I thought, well, Africa's one place. No, it's 52 different countries in Africa. We have 3 on this continent. We think we're something. So then you move to this is the fear. Why is this the fear? This is walking away. This is abandonment. Why is the perception horrible, but the fear is walking away from it? And then you have in the environment going into better times. So something is off. Not with the cards, with the perception. The magician casts illusions, remember? You have the fear of walking away, leaving that behind. What is that? If you think this is what the harmony in US is, then why would you fear leaving that behind? And then in your environment is moving into better times. If you're moving into better times, this cannot possibly be the perception. This cannot possibly be the reality. If you're moving into better times, not because you are in hardship, not because you see hardship, because it's behind you. That's what moving forward is. What is the state of harmony in the U.S.? This is being weighed down and burdened. Position to defend. The ebb and the flow. That's what this is. The perception is the hardship, the ugly ship. The better times is the friendship, the kinship. I have that in common with you. Our souls are connected. You have lies and illusion. I have moving into better times. What they tell us on the news are the things that would make headlines, the things that would cause you to flip the page or to turn on the channel. The reality is we are leaving the ugliness behind us, step by step. I did a reading, will the lives or the situation improve for black people in America? And the answer is no, but the answer is yes, just not right now. This is for every people. Every people are black people. You have a group that it is being accosted with whatever. You could be in that group. You are not exempt from they coming against you. Whether you are a woman, whether you are black, whether you are poor, whatever kind of minority you might be, if you're not a rich white man, they could come against you. So we're all in this together, leaving that behind. Times are getting better. And the election of Barack Obama proved that. This is not a defeat to racism, but it is a chin check to racism, to bigotry. It was a chin check to homophobia and transphobia. It was a chin check for men trying to tell women what they can and cannot do with their own body and that which is in it. It's not defeated, but it is getting better. Day by day, generation by generation, this world will improve. That is proven. 100 years ago, what did the world look like? 100 years from now, it will be a lot better than it is right now. We will get better. We will improve. It is improving. It is getting better. It has no choice. Lies and illusion do not conquer us. Your perception is reality. If you think the world is awful, then change your perception.